parties, PDP and APC, have conducted their primaries. And I did say that a lot of people are challenging the processes. For the People's Democratic Party, there seems to be a silence, but that has been described as the silence of the graveyard. For the APC, there is an outburst and a visible disgust with the process by Senator Ngai Magnus Abe, who has said what happened in the APC is a charade and not acceptable to him. And he has even gone further to say, well, he would definitely be on the ballot in 2023. Again, the whole Ogoni project issue is another big talk right now because for what we've seen so far, Ijaw candidates are emerging as the standard bearer of the political party. So what does this make for the Ogoni project? And I have joining me in the studio this morning, Dr. Terry Mission Bagia Esquire is a specialist in petroleum law, auto development consultant, and political communication practitioner. Is also a motivational speaker and spokesperson of Greater Ogonis in Diaspora Organization and executive chairman, TAP ACE Project, that's TAP International, an annex for leadership, entrepreneurship, and motivation. He is an advocate for good governance and an agent for systematic equity. He is driven by passion for a better and more prosperous River State and, by extension, Greater Nigeria. Dr. Terry Bange, good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Shegun. Nice meeting you.
And I have with us in the studio a young politician, and he is the leader Freedom House Media, which is a political group for Senator Magnus Abe. I have Honorable Kingsley Akumefule. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Shegun. Good morning, Rivers.
So, gentlemen, let me welcome you. First, let me start with Kingsley Akumefule. The two major political parties, their primaries conducted.
Yeah.
Of course, you know the outcome.
Yes, we know.
So, as a politician in the States, are you satisfied?
First, I wouldn't want to talk about the PDP primaries.
But are you, because you're a politician?
Yes, because I never had anything to participate in that process. We were supposed to participate in the primaries of the All Progressive Congress. But unfortunately, the primaries never went the way it should go by virtue of our rules, the constitution of our party. And we felt it was a charade, so we decided not to participate.
So again, since you said it didn't go the way you should go, it should go, how should it go based on the constitution of your party?
Yes, before the primaries, there was delegate congresses. And so that delegate congresses was not conducted in accordance with our constitution. And so because it was not conducted so, we felt that if we participate in that Congress, in the primary, we will be participating in a skewed process, and ultimately the results would be something that would be very, very dangerous. So we felt it was not necessary to participate in that.
And of course, you are a supporter of Senator Magnus Abe.
Sure.
Who is also an Ogoni. But of course, Senator Magnus Abe has said that he is not in politics necessarily because he's an Ogoni. He believes there should be an Ogoni, a governor of Ogoni extraction, but he is primarily in the contest because he feels he's qualified. And that brings me to the issue of a governor of Ogoni extraction. Is this still feasible, Dr. Terry Bagia?
Shegun, it's nice getting to be with you this morning. I think this is a very interesting time. And just like the illustrious son of Ogoni has mentioned, governance of River State is not about a particular tribe. And I'm also in his shoe. I'm seeing reason with him. We can't come here to play ethnic card to Rivers people. All the Rivers people need an upgrade of their hope. Hunger doesn't have a tribe. Frustration doesn't have a tribe. Unemployment doesn't have a tribe. Doesn't have any ethnic nationality. In as much as we have a home base, every individual in the world have a home base. What is important is a governor that is going to serve the interests of the people. And I can guarantee you, Shegun, that this is the first time we are seeing a true servant leader who have told Rivers citizens that you are the people that actually matter. It is not the senator that matters.
And who's
it
this
is not the
leader?
president. I'm talking about Senator Magnus Abe. He's the only person that comes with a unique language that centers on the importance of the citizenry. The citizenry have suffered because as soon as election is over, they have been relegated to the background. That has been the history of our people. That has been the plight of our people. But we are now coming into an interesting time when God, in his infinite mercy, has raised up a man who has a heart for the people. And remember his slogan, putting the people first. The first time I had an encounter with this man in the public, and I saw the destitutes he was hugging and almost carrying them in his hands. It's not a pretense. I'm talking about an upbringing that comes to you naturally.
You know,
Magnus Gay Abbey has an answer for all Rivers people. It's not about Ogoni.
Dr. Terry Bagger,
Yes.
you are not a politician, but again, Kingsley Akemofule here is a politician. In politics, there's a way things are played. And politically speaking, I may be wrong, it seems as if the door is closing on Senator Magnus Abbey. Am I correct?
No, you're not correct.
Tell me about that.
You're not correct. There are a lot of opportunities.
What are the opportunities? Where are they?
A lot of opportunities. First, the time lag has not been shut up, and there is still time for submission of candidate names to INEC. There is still time for substitution. There are a lot of times. We have enough time.
So what
If-
gives
if-
you
if-
that?
if-
What gives you that optimism? What makes you optimistic
Yes.
that yes, within this period you might just have your candidate? And again, given everything you've said, are you sure that the appeal panel would just listen to you?
We are not even interested if they are listening to us or not. What is important is you are dealing with a man who has spent almost all his time in politics. If it were to be in academia, he's supposed to be either a professor or a professor emeritus. So when he talks to the public that he will be on the ballot, he knows what he is saying. He's not talking like a newcomer in the business. So of course you also know that he's a lawyer, an astute lawyer for so many years standing. So he's been in the Senate for so many years. Of course, you know that he is within, he can play around the law. So if such man tells you that he's going to be on the ballot, he is not joking. He knows what he's, saying.
And this is to both of you, Dr. Terry Bagger and to Honorable Kingsley Akemofule. A while ago I spoke to Opunabo Nkota, who is excited that a politician of Ijoy extraction is emerging the standard bearer of the major political parties in Rivers State. But again, he also believes that there should be a third force. So I'm going to ask you, do you also think there should be a third force in the politics of Rivers State? And are you optimistic that, well, Senator Magnus Abbey may just be that third force? Dr. Terry Bagger first.
Well, my take on this is the issue of third force or not third force is not important.
Okay.
What is actually important to me is what the people of Rivers State says. And our democracy is advancing. The problem people have is that they think you are still in the past. What used to happen about 10 years ago is not what is obtainable now. Life process, just as politics is also, is dynamic and things are changing. The emphasis now is about the citizenry. What do the people want for themselves? What is the best choice that is available for themselves? That is what should be the issue. The issue of tough force and all that, I don't like those rhetorics because sometimes all of these things are deceitful.
Okay.
And they just use it to just massage the sensibility of the gullible and unsuspecting public. I'm not interested in that.
Okay, so
what I'm interested in is viability,
Fantastic.
capability
Well,
in an individual. It is somebody that is going to drive the government. And if the head is rotten, forget the system. Every other thing is going to be rotten. So we need to look for a viable, sound head that can take Rivers people to where it ought to be. Rivers State to where it ought to be.
But of course, the argument
That's what is
is
important.
such viable sound head is available in all the ethnic groups. That's the argument anyway. But let me come to Kingsley, Honorable Kingsley Akemofule. Do you also believe in a third force?
Yes, I believe in third force.
Yes.
I do believe in it. And of course, you know that a lot of issues brings up the third force. And those issues are the things that are actually playing out today in our state. When you have persons or candidates who do not meet the requirement of the people, the people will begin to look for an alternative. And that alternative is usually the third force. And of course, in this particular era where we are right now, Rivers people need an alternative. We have seen the persons that people are beginning to tell us this person is this and all that. Rivers have seen that these persons do not have the qualities. All it takes to mount the leadership position of Rivers State. And so Rivers people will look for an alternative. And that alternative is actually the third force we are talking about. And that third force is no other person than Senator Magnus Ngei Abe. He is, like Dr. Terry Bajia just said, a man for the now. He has all it takes, the capacity, the capability, the political awareness, the wherewithal, all it takes to mount that saddle and give the needed change and governance that Rivers people indeed wants at this time. That is what he has. And of course, you know, from the west to the south, to everywhere in Rivers State, everybody is clamoring for Senator Magnus Abe. Each time he goes around, even when he goes to the radio, people always tell him, Oga, we don't want party. Oga, we want you. Yes. Oga, we want you. Everywhere he went to, in the street, on the road, in the market, even when he's driving, Senator Magnus will want you. And so he has made himself available. Right now, that is the third force we're talking about. We're not talking about a political party. We're talking about third force as a person of Senator Magnus Abe. And he is ready. He has told Rivers people that he's not coming to lead as a big man governor. No, he said he needs partnership. He wants to partner with Rivers people. And every Rivers man who is ready for a change, the needed change that Rivers will desire, should indeed please come and partner with Senator Magnus Abe. Because in him, we have a new Rivers State. A new Rivers State that will give smiles and happiness to Rivers people and those who live and do business here in Rivers State.
You know, I like your passion and the passion with which you speak, but again, you know, politics don't play that way. And again, I'll be asking both of you, do you think the maturity, the political maturity of what you are saying is available amongst the electorate? And that's what I wanted to consider. But just before then, I'll go to the telephone line. You're listening to Point Blank. And again, we're still talking about the politics, the fallout from the primaries, governorship primaries of the People's Democratic Party and the APC Rivers State. Again, it seems as if the door is shutting out on Ogoni, politician from Ogoni extraction, as the standard bearer of the major political parties. Don't forget that at the beginning of this exercise, Ogonis have appealed to the major political parties to field candidates of Ogoni extraction. But from what we've seen so far, that's not going the way. And I'm speaking to Dr. Terry Bajia. Dr. Terry Bajia is a motivational speaker and is an expert in petroleum law. He's also a believer of an Ogoni governor in 2023. I'm speaking to Honorable Kingsley Akumefole, who is the leader, Freedom House Media, which is a political platform for Senator Magnus Abe. And I'm asking them, are we likely to see the door shut out on an Ogoni, on a politician of Ogoni extraction as the governor of Rivers State 2023? Let me just take some calls, and I'll come back talking more to my guests. Good morning.
Good morning, Shego.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, my name is Akanto. I'm calling from Borogo.
Akanto, good morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Akanto, good morning.
Yes, I
Akanto, good morning.
actually appreciate our guest this morning to come in out to give a full speech this morning and to give a kind of it gives strength to the week, because within the week under review, Shego, decision was made, and you know. And I want to say the issue of thought force. I mentioned it earlier this week. Are you aware that there's something that happened in Ondo State? Are you aware? It happened in Anambra State. Are you aware? And it also happened in Abia State. Shego, the issue and what we talk about the politics of Rivers, apart from Dr. Peter Odele, the person will talk about Nyesom Wike, Chibike Rotimi Amechi, and Dr. Barrister Magnus Abe. Two of these other persons that I mentioned earlier has been a governor, has been a minister, and the third person who's supposed to be Dr. Magnus Abe is sitting place. I want to say it from the side of Ogoni man, not from the side of. I want to say that if the hope for him, I don't know if applauding him, he's sick, no matter irrespective of the political party. People and Rivers people are looking on to him.
I can't do okay.
All should know that he contest. We see him this morning. He is the only third force. He should come out either from the Labour Party, the Front Party, or the Party. He should come out and tell the Rivers people that he had the capacity to serve us. That we will sue him. We will sue him to court. They should come and tell the Rivers people why is he not ready to serve us.
Thank you so much. I can't tell. Thank you so much. And let me take this one. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Point blank. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Shehu.
Thank you for joining us. What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
Good morning, my good friend, that is Terry Baja.
Thank you. Good morning, my brother.
I am Sir Augustine Bonnet.
Awesome.
I want to say categorically that all the primaries at the NAPNI by Kibite and Meji is non and void from my own perspective, because we are all members of APC, and revitalization is not a constitutional issue. It is a practice that can be done periodically. Somebody that comes into APC today is a member of APC. So mine is not about APC, PDP, or any other thing, but Senator Magnus Abe is a very vibrant candidate for Rivers people and for an ongoing exception. Therefore, I still believe, because this is a man that when he says one thing, he stands by it. And we in Israel, we believe that he is going to be on ballot board. Thank you very much, and God bless.
All right. Thank you so much. And we'll take one more before I come back to the guest in the studio. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Shegun.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Comrade Nivan Raymond Marcos.
Okay.
Greetings to Dr. Terry Baja in the studio and our honorable brother.
Now, you may just need to turn down the volume on your radio set to avoid a holdback.
I'm far from the radio. I'm far from the radio now, Mr. Shegun.
Okay.
Yeah, I have something to say. I represent the interest of all Ogoni youth, because at this point we are talking about a people that has been denied for 55 years. A people that has not produced chief judge, a people that has not produced speaker, did not produce anything tangible in this state, and they have contributed to the development and economic growth of Rivers State. As I speak with you today, Shegun, Ghana local government has 79 primary schools and 52 is dead and buried. They have 29 secondary schools and 17 is dead and buried.
Those are very
education in the land.
Those are very terrible statistics.
What I'm saying is that talking about what is playing out now, the Ogonians have been denied for a very lengthy time, and we are talking about, if you are telling me that Senator Abe is not qualified or Senator Abe has done something wrong, why didn't you come to tell us then that this is what Senator Abe is doing and it's not favorable to the people?
Thank
this
you.
is a man that has been able to tell the world that he has interest.
Well, let me correct you. Let me correct you. Again, I'm very sorry. Let me just quickly correct you there. No one has said Senator Magnus is not qualified. Actually, the name of Senator Magnus Abe appeared during the APC primaries, and it's called the votes. So no one has said he's not qualified. Yeah. Yeah, he got one vote. That's from the result we have. That's from the result.
You know why I'm laughing?
Yes.
Senator Magnus Abe, before the Sherrod primaries, had granted a press and told the whole world that he was not going to participate.
But his name was mentioned and he got a vote.
Who mentioned his name? His detractors, those who had always wanted him to die. They have done everything to see that he run away from politics. And of course, nobody, like Dr. Terry said, is God. Magnus Abe came from a household that God brought up himself. And because of his training, he has kept himself in that way. Ordinarily, if it were to be any other Rivers man, what has been meted on him, they may not have taken it the way he's taking it. But because of his training, he's very composed, very trained from a good home. And every Rivers man knows that he has that capacity. And so today, we are all supporting Senator Magnus. Whoever that has written one vote for him, it's just left for them. Everybody knows he was not there. He never participated. In fact, for time, he had told the world that he's not going to participate in a skewed process. And he never participated. So writing one vote. Okay, let me ask you, Shegu. You know Senator Magnus Abe. If indeed he has participated in even that skewed process, you know that he will score a vote that even people will say indeed he participated, even though it was a skewed process. But he was not there. He has already told them he was not going to participate, and they just gave him allotted a vote for him. Of course, that is just to show their
so you are
wickedness.
saying they gave him that vote. But again, unfortunately, I don't answer questions that you were asking me a question. I don't answer questions.
I know
But
you won't answer.
Let me
But
come
that is
to
what is playing out.
Let me come to Dr. Terry Bagger. So the reality we have as of today, People's Democratic Party, Isaac Kamalu is second, according to the report of the primaries of the People's Democratic Party. APC, no Ogoni. And you had earlier threatened, not necessarily you in person, but what I mean by some Ogoni groups have threatened that, look, if the political parties fail to ensure a candidate for Ogoni extraction get their ticket, they would mobilize and ensure that they, well, vote against such political parties. Are you going ahead with this threat?
Yeah. What's happening in Rivers State today is not just an issue of relegation of Ogoni people. What we've been contending with, people like me, as an advocate of good governance, an advocate of true democracy, that is what is driving some of us. And I can tell you that what is happening in Rivers State today is a coup against the people of Rivers State.
Not
The question is,
Ogoni.
not necessarily Ogoni. I can guarantee you that. So the people that are actually speaking, even though they use the word Ogoni because they are from Ogoni, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm from Ogoni too. And I have a home base, and I have some questions to answer when I get to the home. And as somebody who believes in equity, fairness, and justice, what is good for the goose must be good for the gander. And the Ogonis deserve the best in this state as one of the major contributors to what has made Nigeria what it is today, and even Rivers State what it is today, microscopically.
So
trust me, Shegun, trust me, that it is a revolution that is coming. Silent, quiet, saintly, angelic revolution. There'll be an upturn of that era of democracy for the few, where few people will sit in maybe a drinking parlor and decide who becomes what.
Dr. Terry
This time
Bagger.
around, it is the people of Rivers State that are going to decide.
Dr. Terry Bagger.
And Senator Magnus Nge Abe, sorry, Shegun, give me a little minute. Senator Magnus Nge Abe has offered himself for service.
Not
and
only
like my
him,
brother Kingsley
not
rightly
only him,
said, he said, this is the first time you are hearing the word partnership in the rhetorics of politics, that somebody is coming to be a partner of the people, and that is going to be a collaborative effort to move Rivers State to where it ought to be. Remember a state like Lagos.
Yeah.
It took one word called leadership, a prepared leadership for that matter. Lagos didn't have to wait for other struggling states for it to turn out to be the 6th largest economy in Africa. Rivers State is more endowed than any other state in this country. I can guarantee you that. And not just the natural resources, but human resources. We are going to make Rivers State a point of attraction for the whole world.
Dr. Terry Bagger, my point is still
Yes.
very clear. I mean,
Exactly.
we've seen what has happened with the primaries of the major political parties. Bernard Miko, who is an Ogoni son, has been shot out.
Yes.
Isaac Kamalu shot out, and of course, even though Honorable Akumefile would not agree with me, Senator Magnus Abe has also been shot out.
Not really.
You are threatened that, look, any political party that refuses to give their ticket to candidate of Ogoni extraction, you will mobilize massively against them. I'm asking you, are you going ahead with this threat?
Shegun, the movement is on. And I can guarantee you that Senator Magnus Nge Abe is going to be on ballot in
Of the APC?
Yes, in 2023. March. He's contesting election in March 2023. It doesn't matter the party. I'm not interested in party. I'm interested. Shegun, if you watch my body language and what I'm saying here, it's more about the people of Rivers State. What do the people of Rivers State say? And I can guarantee you, nobody, Magnus Abe has echoed it loud and clear, no single individual or group, no microscopic few has what it takes, and they cannot impose a leader on Rivers people going forward, from 2023 going forward.
Okay, let us just
going
pause
to
a
be,
bit.
power is returning back to the people because the people are becoming more enlightened.
Let's pause a bit. I will come to Honorable Akim, but quickly, I'll come to the telephone lines now. And you've heard Dr. Terry Bagger said, yes, the movement is on.
Yes.
And Ogoni will ensure that their threat is fulfilled. Let's get your take on that. 070-5079-1021 and 081-174-3102. It is Point Blank Saturday on Super 93.3 FM. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. This is Barrister Isaiah from Oner.
Barrister Isaiah, good morning.
Yes, as soon as I have made the plight of the Ogoni people, I so disagree with them that they must be Ogoni people to govern River State. The fact is that up to 15 years or 16 years now, the uplanders have governed River State. And the River East Territorial District, we still have the riverine people to govern River State. Therefore, I think I am not against Ogoni people, but the right thing must be done. The man in the studio there is talking about equity and justice. It is not the turn of Ogoni people now because their right has been taken away by the upland people, the Ekwere, Ameki, Wike, Odele, Omeya, has been in the saddle. They are all from the upland. I think the reason why they are not allowing the Ogoni people to come to the saddle now is because the turn of the upland people has gone. Let's face justice because the preamble to the Nigerian Constitution is anchored on justice, equity, liberty, and freedom. Therefore, when we are talking about freedom, it means that we must circulate freedom all over. It will go around. The riverine people, we are the judge, have not found the saddle. After the dismemberment of the Bayelsa people from River State, the old River State, since 1999, we have not seen the River people to govern River State. The riverine people, the PDP in their wisdom has allowed the riverine patients from the job extraction, that is the Opobo extraction.
All right, Barrister Isaiah.
So now we are talking about another riverine party in the APC. The Magnus is a strong candidate, which we all admire, but we should forget it.
Okay, Barrister Isaiah, thank you so much for your view. And let's come here. Point Blank Saturday, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Emmanuel, calling from Okrita.
Emmanuel, good morning.
Yes, I've taken time to listen to the conversation by my brothers from APC. I'm also a card-carrying member of APC.
Well, again, let me quickly say that they're not necessarily APC. I also know that Honorable Kingsley is a member of APC. But Dr. Terry Bankia is not of the APC. He's not.
Sorry, at the start of the conversation, he talked about our primary. He talked about the primary. So it's a member of the party to talk about the primary of the party.
Doctor, you're talking about Honorable Kingsley.
Okay, let me just go straight. Yes. Okay, let me just go straight. I will draw that. Let me go straight to my point. My point is this, that as long as the APC River State is concerned, we have our congresses in accordance with the provisions of the law. Congresses by our process, congresses should be held at the ward level. It should simply mean that Senator Magnus Abe and his supporters should go to their ward in their local government area and participate in the primary. There was a time for people to go and buy forms to contest as the LJ delegates, state delegates, and national delegates, which his supporters, some of them bought those forms, paid money to the bank, to the party, obtained nomination form, filled and returned, but refused to come for the Congress because they knew that they cannot pass through the Congress. They don't have people on ground. It's not about radio, social media comment. Now, secondly, he said that Magnus did not score any vote because he did not participate in the state governorship primary. Senator Magnus Abe participated. My reason is this. If we refer to our constitution, and our constitution has a provision that as a candidate that has submitted themselves to the process of election, obtaining form, going for screening, and being cleared, that if you want to withdraw from that contest, you will make it formally to the party in writing that I am not participating, just as the Peter Bidel did, just as the rest of them in other parties. The Senator Magnus had to communicate to the party, and as his local government, Gokana, the state or national, that he was withdrawing. Going to a channel, going to TV to say, I am not part of the primary, is not an excuse. We know the trap is settled.
Okay.
So that when they remove his name from the ballot, based on news items, he will say, they will remove my name on the ballot when I am a cleared candidate. So my name is
thank you so much
ballot.
for those observations. I'm going to be asking. Thank you so much. Let me just take that to Honorable Kingsley.
Yes,
now, you heard all the issues.
Yes, sure, I heard. I will start with him, then I will go to Barrister Isaiah. First, there is no place in the constitution of our party that said if you do not want to participate in the primaries again, you will write to your ward or write to the party. You only write to your ward when you want to stop as a member of a political party. You can write to your ward, okay? In this case, Senator Magnus Abe is not saying he is no longer a member of the All Progressives Congress. He is only saying that he will not participate in a skewed process, even though he has not withdrawn from the race. He said so. If he had wanted to withdraw from the race, he will write officially to the party that he has withdrawn from the race. He said he is not withdrawing, but he will not participate in such skewed process. So we need to be informed so that we don't come to the public and say things that are not normal. In the case of Barrister Isaiah, he was talking about Riverine and Upland. We have never played Riverine and Upland politics in Nigeria, or rather in Rivers State. Even in Nigeria, we have been talking about geopolitical zone. This person said, I'm from the South-South, I'm from the Southeast. Nobody has said, I'm from Ikwere, I'm from this, I'm from that. Nobody says so. And so, prior to 1999, we have had opportunities given to those from the Riverine. We talk about Depte Spiff, talk about Medford Okilo, even the recent one, Ada George. They're all from the Riverine. Now, from 1999, we started the New Democracy. The governor that was there in 1999 was from the Rivers West. And even then, somebody from the Riverine was his deputy, from Opobo, was his deputy. In 2007, we have another person who is from River Southeast, where I come from. His deputy is also from the Riverine, Andoni. In 2015, we have another person who came from my own senatorial zone too. He also picked his deputy from the Riverine, the Degema. Now, the senatorial zone that have not produced governor is the River Southeast. And in River Southeast, there is a major block. They have 7 local government areas there. A block has 4 local government areas. And they are very well populated. And in politics, you talk about number. And these persons have never produced, not even a deputy governor. And they are saying, give us this opportunity. Even though I'm not talking about ethnic politics. I am not from Ogoni, I'm from Eche. But we know that the quest for an Ogoni man to be governor is long overdue. It is high time Rivergo started thinking of this. From Eche, where I come from, we all want an Ogoni man. But today we are not talking about Ogoni politics.
You don't have the facts to show that, because you've not done a census.
I play Eche politics.
You've not done a census to show that Eche people want.
Let me tell you, sir. I didn't grow in Eche just like that. I grew from youthful positions. I've held youthful positions in Eche. I've held positions in the state, in the youth, that I represent my people. And so I am always going back to the village.
But again, Honorable Kingsley Akumefle and Dr. Terry Bagia, it seems as if everything we are saying now is in the past. That's what it seems to me.
It's not in the past. Let me finish. You didn't allow me to finish.
Okay.
As I speak with you, the candidature of Senator Magnus Ngei Abe is not something that only Ogonis or the River Southeast are asking for. Yesterday night, let me give you this story. Yesterday night, I was just driving past and I needed to buy fuel. I stopped by at a fuel station. When I remembered I hadn't fuel to use in my generator at home, I opened my boot to collect my jerry can. And some persons, even people who came to buy fuel, saw some caps written Senator Magnus Abe. Everybody, they rushed that cap. None of those persons there are from Ogoni. And so that will tell you the way people are in demand. But again,
Honorable Kingsley Akumefle, you also know that politics is not played that way. You know.
It is also played that way.
It's not played that way.
It is also played that way. When people over time are beginning to have this quest for a particular person, because of his nature, because of his character.
You know,
politics?
We said something now. Opunabo and Nkotari and I have discussed this. Unfortunately, we just have about 2 minutes. Opunabo and Nkotari and I discussed this, and a lot of people said it. In politics, they ask, "Who is your father?" Don't you think that's one thing that Senator Magnus Abe is missing?
I don't think that is what anybody asks.
Shegun,
Who is your political father?
What makes you important in politics is your years of contribution and the ideas you've brought to bear. So today in Rivers politics, the only person that is very prominent and that is needed by the people is Senator Magnus Abe.
There's no census. There's no census. You've not done a census.
When you also come to his father,
you've not done a census to back up
you
your
wouldn't
conclusion.
know if I have done because I've not submitted it to you. Let me also, before Dr. Terry comes, let me also inform you that none of those who have been governor in Rivers State has a father that had name like the father of Senator Magnus Abe. So if you talk about that, none of them.
Okay. Dr. Terry Bagga, so again, it seems as if, this issue of Governor of Ogoni extraction is just going to the weeds.
Shegun, let me tell you one of the greatest deceitful ploy of recent times. Odili was governor of the state.
And sorry, you have 30 seconds, I'm sorry.
Odili assumed the office of the governor of the state. And when he was leaving, the person who succeeded him did not talk about riverine governor. He stepped into his shoe. When that one left, some other person came up to step into his shoe without reference to riverine governor. But let me also be very candid to you, Shegun, that the issue, like Kingsley Riley said, the only rhetoric that has been on table since the inception of the Fourth Republic in 1999 is the issue of senatorial district. Just like we talk about geopolitical zone.